You hear the voice of Alex, and I'm Logan, and we're Stocks, and we're joined by the draft expert, Alex. So if you haven't seen this mock draft, it's real good. It was so good that Manny wanted us to do a video version of it. He wanted us to all get together and break down the draft. So I think it's a little early, to be honest, but we're gonna give it our best shot. Also, Stocks brought it up to our attention, and we've been trying to get more AFC teams mentioned on the show. Sadly, I mean, me and Stocks are both in the northern division, so maybe Alex could help us more with the AFC breakdowns. But we're gonna talk about the AFC East today.
Yeah, we could definitely do like a quick rundown of the Jets, Patriots, Bills, and the Dolphins. We'll just go a little in depth on each team and how they're running out. The Jets are leading the division right now at a 5-2 record, followed by the New England Patriots with a 4-2. New Buffalo Bills owner 1-5, and Miami's still at 1-5 also. So you have half the division kind of battling out the Jets and the Patriots, and then you have the Bills and the Dolphins trying to find their identity. I like the Jets and the Patriots, but the Bills owner is the one that changed, right? Is that correct?
No, the Bills owner stayed the same.
Okay, so he didn't
he's
change.
sticking with the same team.
Yeah,
So
there was some Jerry Springer stuff going on, but he ended up staying with the same team. So
okay, that's what I wasn't sure of.
There's only been one change, which the Browns owners now gone to the Falcons, and the new Browns owners come in.
All right.
As far as I know, and then we have a few new owners on other teams where people have dropped out. But other than that,
right.
And the Patriots just lost to the Steelers 38-31, so they're now lost down to the Jets.
There's some breaking news for you. Right on the chat board, he lost 38-31.
38-31. So now the Jets have a win over the Patriots, putting the Patriots second in the division. But have the Jets played the Steelers yet? Or?
I'm not sure, but I think the Jets have a bye this week.
Let's you wanted to break them down more. Let's talk about the Jets first. I haven't played this team. Have you played them yet, Alex?
Yeah, I have. I played them in week 2, where I played them at about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
What was your general what impressions did you get from the Jets?
He's good at stopping the run. Fairly good at stopping the run. He's a good user controller of linebackers. He's got he's got a good base of a team to build with. He's got, just looking at his stats from his players, he's got a high amount of tackle from one of his middle linebackers, close to highest in the league. The top of his team and fairly close to the highest in the league. But there's a massive difference in the highest in the league, like variations. So it's a good player. He likes to use Plaxico Burress. He traded me Santonio Holmes for Rasheen Mathis, so he's now got 3 top corners.
Right.
I'm still not sure what is happening there with how he uses them. I can't really remember whether he's one at strong safety, because he's got 2 free safeties that seem to have a lot of tackles at the moment. So maybe he's using one of them.
Maybe he goes a lot out of the nickel.
Slot. Yeah, probably, but even then, so we'll see.
So I know we talked a lot about the Jets with your trade and how good he's doing, but we haven't really talked a lot about the Dolphins. Would you like to bring down the Dolphins, Stocks?
Yeah, sure. The Dolphins are a team that is a team that's built in flux. That means that they're searching for their identity.
Yeah.
They took a battle against the Giants and lost 41-7 this week. Their team consists of a great wide receiver in Brandon Marshall. He's rated 92. A good offensive line with Jake Long, left tackle, 97. The whole Donovan McNabb experiment, I don't know if it's working or if it's not working, but that's definitely a concern that he definitely needs to build on, or improve. Maybe Chad Henne was the answer. Maybe he's not. But then we go into the whole Reggie Bush deal. Is he using Reggie Bush enough? You know,
is he using him right? Is he using him as a wide receiver or a running back or maybe both? I mean, that comes down to philosophies, and we talked about that in the very first show. And you know, we're like, we don't really know these teams, but you know, this is how we run them. That's an interesting question.
He has key pieces. Looking over his roster and his, you know, the defensive side of the ball is where you would need a playmaker. You know, his highest rated player is his middle linebacker, Dansby, at 90. Cameron Wake also at 89. You need that, maybe just one superstar guy on that team to maybe scare the opponent a little bit, you know. The age on the defensive side looks a little old, you know. He still has, you know, Darren Chopper, you know, he's 36. Jason Taylor, he's 38. So you could definitely, if we talk about the draft, best player available at the defensive position could definitely help the Dolphins.
Yeah. Well, honestly, what worries me about the Dolphins owner is I saw him on the chat earlier when we first started the league, you know, in the first couple of weeks. He was talking trades. He was trying to make his team better. He wasn't always around, but he was on quite a bit. Now it seems that he's not on as much. And maybe that's time restraints, that kind of stuff. I just hope he's not losing faith in the team because, like you said, it could be one or two things on defense and it changes it around and not once the other opponent has to respect the run and the pass, or you know, he's not that far away.
Yeah, he's at a point in his season that it may not be fun for him right now.
Yeah.
And the hard work, or like you said, yeah, he can't really do much now since the trading deadline's over. But hopefully he's just taking enough from his games and his opponents he's playing against to get better, because that's how he will get better. Sometimes you got to take your lumps and some tough defeats to get better. And I hope it's in his case that he can do this, because he does have some pieces there, and if he can take those older pieces and get something out of those guys, and hopefully, you know, maybe he's going to have a few retirees and get a couple good draft picks, that his season will turn around next year. Alex, what are your thoughts on definitely the quarterback situation? Because the last podcast we had, I asked Logan, is there any backup quarterbacks that could start for a team next year? And this could be definitely a good team for someone for that.
I got a list of guys for you. I gave it some thought, and we can talk about that if you want.
Yeah, because Donovan McNabb's 35. I don't know if he's going to retire next year. And even if he doesn't, you want an upgrade at that. It's just McNabb was at his peak, and obviously Chad Henne is not his answer because he's sitting him.
He's brought him back. Yeah, he's brought him back.
I'll tell you what. If you want to
there are a few rookie quarterbacks who could potentially be brought in by other teams, such as like Ricky Stanley of the Chiefs. Maybe even what's his name? Like for example, what's his name?
Tim Tebow could start.
I'm not sure where he's gone. He wasn't the Bears roster. I'm not sure where he's. I think he's been traded somewhere, but I'm not sure where. I'm just going to find out. But basically, like rookie players at the moment like that with quite high throwing stats in certain areas. Yeah, they might not be the best overall, but they've got some nice basics, even maybe prior. But I doubt that unless he gets. To be honest, it would have to be someone fairly desperate to take prior, in my opinion. But even Ryan Mallett's another option. But just players like that generally, maybe even Jimmy Clausen. So just a couple of players like that who I think maybe even Matt Flynn of the Packers. Maybe he's not quite as preferable option. But even then, he's a very serviceable option for some team who may need a quarterback. He's fairly young, so obviously not a permanent fix, but better than if they're better than what you've got now, why not take them?
Well, Stocks asked me this, and so I made a list. And my list went, not in any particular order, it went Tim Tebow could start, I think. Ryan Mallett could start. Depending on your system, I think, Terrell Pryor could start, like you mentioned. You wouldn't do
Vince
it.
Young, maybe.
Vince Young could
It's
start.
for a similar system.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing is we're talking about a lot of gadget quarterbacks. Even they might be great, but they have to fit a system. We're talking about Tim Tebow, Vince Young, Terrell Pryor. The guys that I know for a fact will be franchise quarterbacks in this league. Ryan Mallett. He will start for another team. He's going to be a bona fide, superstar. Tim Tebow will start in this league. He's an A potential. He will, he'll be a superstar. Outside of that, you got some questions. What's Ricky Stanzi's potential?
I think it's B potential, but I'm not sure.
Well,
and he's got, let's see, he's got 95 short throw accuracy, 80 mid throw accuracy, 66 deep throw accuracy, 60 throw on the run, 66 play action. So they're not great. I'm just going to get to his throw power.
So, Stocks.
Yes.
So, out of those quarterbacks that we mentioned, do you see any of those guys starting next year? The Tim Tebows, the Vince Youngs,
He's got 86 throw power, so he's fairly serviceable. So
the one guy stands out for me is the Tebow factor. I just think overall he could definitely fit in almost like a running gun.
Yeah.
Offense. Somebody that's not gonna, kind of spread it out a little bit more and have him, make quick reactions. He's not gonna be that pocket, he's not gonna be the Matt Ryan type of quarterback. Obviously,
no.
He can't. So you have to have the team around him to fit that. So I'm not exactly sure if like the Buffalo Bills, with Buffalo Bills have Hines Ward, he's probably going to retire next year. But the Stevie Johnson, you need a big tight end also. He's also got Jerome Carche. Guys like that. I don't know if that would fit with Buffalo. So the Tebow would be you'd have to really pinpoint the type of offense. But I definitely think Tebow would be the number one guy.
I don't know if you've seen Ryan Mallett's stats, but Ryan Mallett definitely, I think, should start next season. I think if a team really wants a quarterback in the draft, or wants a young quarterback that wants to build around, forget the draft. Ryan Mallett's your guy. I mean, you guys can look at the stats if you want. I've already seen the stats. He to me is better than any quarterback in the draft.
Well, the thing that already stands out at me is he's 6'6".
Yeah, exactly.
He's 6'6" with a 98 throw power.
Yep. He's better
sounds
than...
like Jamarcus Russell to me.
Yeah, but...
No, look at his accuracy. No. Don't say he's Jamarcus. Look at his accuracy.
Yeah, he's got 83 short accuracy, 84 mid.
Yep.
73 deep. You hit a gem right there, Logan, I think.
Yeah,
I like the height. I like the throw power. You can build the rest of that stuff.
It's just what it would cost to get him, really.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously the owner of the Patriots owner is going to know he's worth a lot. And, well,
he's got Tom Brady. Tom Brady's going to last last our franchise. So
that's the golden ticket right there is Tom Brady. If you're just going to sit on Ryan Mallett and have Tom Brady just play year 2, year 3, year 4 and not get nothing from Mallett, you're kind of wasting a play.
Well, let's just face it, you're being silly. Because, I mean, I get it, you got to have value for him, but if someone offers you a first-round draft pick and a player, how can you not take it?
Yeah.
Another player is Nathan Endeley out of Idaho. He's currently on the Browns. 92 throw power, 72 throw accuracy at the moment, but then you go to break it down, he's got 74 short throw accuracy, 72 medium throw accuracy, 79 deep throw accuracy, which is very, very usable. He's got 40 throw on the run, but if you're a pocket passer, you're not going to need that. He's 50 speed. He's another potential option. He's 64 overall, but with that throw power, and you get him a lot cheaper than Ryan Mallett, wouldn't you? And he's potentially, you could, if you're willing to, well, have a season where you're trying to use him, well, just break him in really and try and get his passing stats up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe have a fairly run-heavy offense.
Okay.
But he's another potential option, isn't he?
Before I don't mean to cut you off, but we got to run. We'll come back with another segment, but I think this is perfect because to do a mock draft, I think is a little early. We're gonna do a mock draft, but I think this is interesting. You know, the players that are sitting on your bench that are gems, that like Stocks is. So that to me is interesting. So that's what I'm gonna focus on. These guys will obviously do the draft too, but we'll be back right after this.
Probably.
We're back with Stocks and Alex, and we stopped breaking down Ryan Mallett. We talked about quarterbacks that could start, and that's what we picked up with. The thing about Ryan Mallett, real quick before we go to the draft, Stocks said it. The dude's 6'6". In this game, with his zone coverage and how many balls get tipped, and all these things, 6'6" guy, his ball's gonna be harder to tip.
Yeah, and if you got a deep threat, man, that's the guy that can get it to him.
Kelvin Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nate Burrow is
guys
not
want to talk
bad.
about the Bills real quick? Because I don't want to lose track of what we need to do here.
The Bills are great, man.
Alright. My thought of the Bills are they made a few trades.
Yep.
A few good trades.
What?
They have, yeah. The only one I suspect is getting Hines Ward, but you do need that possession receiver, and that's the guy,
Yeah.
He has D'Angelo Williams, which is he's a good, solid, franchise, good running back. That guy's can carry your team for you for a little bit. He's not going to cost you, a game here and there, but
As long as he doesn't have a career-ending injury like he had in our franchise last year.
yeah, exactly. On the defensive side, he's looks like he's really stout. He has Larry Foote, a decent linebacker there. He's got Barnett there. Cortland Finnegan at cornerback.
As well.
You all have to talk about Larry Foote. I can't talk about Larry Foote.
He's built his offensive line with, I think, a few trades and free agency as well, so he's got a fairly solid offensive line that can project Fitzpatrick. The only question is, come the draft, does he stick with Fitzpatrick?
He doesn't use Fitzpatrick. He doesn't use Fitzpatrick.
Doesn't he? Who's he using?
Brad
Smith.
Smith.
So in that case,
that's a question mark. Exactly. What does that say? Is he going to be looking to draft
one of the top two quarterbacks with at the moment it's looking like he's going to have a top 10 pick, but at the moment it looks like I'm going to have a top 10 pick as well, so it's all still pretty wide open. Anyone can, not quite finish anywhere, I'd say, but it's still, there's a lot of room for scope. This is why it's probably a bit early to be doing a mock draft, but it's probably worth just to get one out there, just to kind of give people an idea of what they might be looking for in the draft, really. So,
well, he's definitely a different type because maybe Alex, maybe Stocks can help me out, but I think he traded Marcel Darius.
Yeah, he did to the Titans, and he got what was it? A very good cornerback in return, and some other.
Did he get Finnegan?
Then he traded to the Panthers. The Bills owner off the Titans. He basically got what's his name? Ultron Burner off the Titans, and then he's traded him to the Panthers. But I'm not sure. I can't remember what those trades involved.
So,
checking that.
The point is he traded Marcel Darius, which kind of boggles my mind. But I love DTs. I know Stocks love DTs. So we love DTs, but what does Alex think about trading Marcel Darius? Because I'm pretty sure Stocks has the same point I do. You don't trade a stud DT like that.
Well, if you look at the trade he got, he traded Marcel Darius, a cornerback Florence, centre Wood,
Yep.
and his left guard Reinhardt for Cortland Finnegan, left end Morgan, left guard Harris, and defensive tackle Klug off the Titans. So we obviously wanted to improve his secondary there by getting Cortland Finnegan.
No way I do that, but I don't like Cortland Finnegan, so maybe that's why.
Oh yeah, I don't either, especially after the Andre Johnson incident last season.
Yeah. So I guess Stocks is the only guy to give a point on that trade or not, but I think giving up Marcel Darius, that's like me giving up Sue for a corner. Yes, I need a corner, but I'll wait for the draft. I'll explore other things, but I'm not giving up my strength for a need, because then that just, I don't know, you're just swapping needs basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Looking at the last game he played against the Giants, he actually played a decent game. He lost 31-17. So the big question is what is he doing with Brad Smith? Is he just playing for next year, or is it he's experimenting? You know what I mean? So it's like he's kind of, I don't know if he's confused or he's not sure what he wants to do, and I guess the Bills owner kind of confuses me looking over his team.
I think he's got a melting pot of things. He's got some old players, so I think maybe he still is. I'm not saying he isn't, but I think there was a time where he was trying to win as many games as possible. Why else do you go and get a guy like Hines Ward that's near the end of his career if you're not going to win now? You know.
And Willie Cole on the right tackle, so
yeah. So
the Steelers well.
Why do you go get a guy like Larry Foote who's going to retire in a matter of years if you're not going to win now? So I think he was trying to win now. I really do.
Especially with the splashing out in free agency with the amount of cap space.
Yep. What is his record anyways? I think he's still in contention for winning the division, you would think.
I think it was 1-6 or 2-6 or something like that.
Ooh.
So he's at the bottom of AFC EAST at the moment.
Yes, he's fighting with the Dolphins.
He's still got an outside chance of winning the division if he gets things going. Whether that happens or not, I'm not to say, but it doesn't look good.
And the thing is, though, if you do have to run a playoff run starting now, you're on top-notch form when it comes to the playoffs, and you've got all this chance of going all the way, seeing as you've won. For example, if I get to the playoffs, I will have won 8, probably 6 or 8 games out of 8, and I have how many of them? I have 8 games left, and if you win that many games in that short space of time, you've got every chance of winning the next 2, 3.
Oh, yeah, momentum is everything, and I think Stocks hit on the head. He's a little bit confusing, but I really don't think he knew what he wanted to do right off the bat. I don't think he wanted the Bills, to be honest. I don't think he wanted the Bills team. I think he's doing the best he can to make that team what he wants. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So maybe that takes a few years. Maybe he's experimenting like Stocks says. I don't think that team is what he wanted. I mean, obviously he traded their first round draft pick, so obviously that wasn't, he didn't agree with their philosophy, so he's changing out, He's changing out some pieces. I got Sean Merriman from him. He got, Corey Williams and Eric Wright, so obviously he loves his corners. I love Sean Marion, by the way, but that tells you the difference in philosophies. But now we talked about the Bills, we talked about the Jets, and we talked about the Dolphins. I mean, who else do we got to talk about?
Hello?
So we talked about the Jets, we talked about the Bills. Am I missing anyone? Patriots. Sorry, my Aussie buddy. He's the dude from Australia, so I must have been Kangaroo and Jack and missing him. But let's get to the Patriots now.
Talk about their tough game against the Steelers today. They lost 38-31.
Yep.
In a big showdown with the Steelers.
Yep.
Looking at it over real quick of that game recap, no running game. Tom Brady threw the ball 44 times, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions for 516 yards. Danny Woodhead was the leading carrier for 9 attempts.
He doesn't run the ball very much. I know that.
Yeah, that's definitely a key there. We could just go through the stats. 2 players, Hernandez and Ocho Cinco, went over the 100 yards. So he's firepower with Brady. So that's the name of his game. You can't knock it.
He reminds me a lot of the Colts a few years ago, who didn't barely run the ball at all. They gave it to Peyton Manning, and that's kind of what he does. I mean, that's kind of what the Patriots do even now. I mean, they give it off to Danny Woodhead, they give it to Green Ellis, but in real life, they depend on the run, or depend on the pass, and so does he. I feel like we've talked about the Patriots some because we talked about Ryan Mallett and how he's got some valuable pieces that are young. He's got some good young running backs too. He's got some good young running backs. He's got
Ridley.
Yeah, he's got Ridley, but who's the other one out of California? He used to back up
Shane Green? Shane Green?
Yeah, that's his name. That kid used to back up Javid Best. So he's got Javid Best-like speed, I think.
Alex is laughing. He thinks something's funny. What's up?
Nothing. Just backing up Javid Best. Javid Best like speed, etc. Sometimes backups are better than in some cases. Look at Alabama at the moment. After Mark Ingram leaves, and you've got what's his name?
You talking about Quentin Richardson?
Yeah, Quentin Richardson stepping up and being, looking like he's going to be a hell of a lot of a better player than.
I wouldn't say that. Mark Ingram was a good player in his own, and Stocks can tell you that.
Oh yeah.
My point is the Patriots guy has some good young running backs, and they're not ready to play now, but there are some good young. So he's got a lot of trade bait, and that's what's the most interesting to me. He's got really.
Does he still have law firm?
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So, he's got the talent to win now, and then he's got some real young studs who he could trade, who he could sit on and let them develop. So he's got an interesting situation.
Yeah. Looking over his team, he really pretty much hasn't done much in the free agency or picking up players, trades. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I mean,
he hasn't had to.
Yeah, so he's pretty much the original team. What he's got, and
he obviously likes what he's got.
Yeah, he definitely likes what he's got. And with that, he could definitely make a playoff run with this team. Looking it over.
I tell you what, the Jets better win it now while he still can, because the Patriots is a good team, and he's only getting better. He's got Dowling, who's his corner out of Virginia, who's very good. I was talking to him yesterday because Stocks wanted to break down the AFC East, and I knew that. So I was talking to the Patriots guy. He says that Dowling's going to be his starting corner probably next year. So
yeah, probably will. Judging from the progression on my dummy league, he progressed nicely on that.
So I think the Patriots is a team now to worry about, but even more so down the line. How about you guys finish this up? We got about 2 minutes. I'll let you guys bicker it out like a bunch of hens, and we'll come back with the draft, and we'll talk about the young players and do a little mock draft and have some fun with that kind of stuff.
Like a bunch of hens at KFC. Is there anything else really to?
Yeah.
The only real weakness I can see on the Patriots team is the linebackers. With
See, I would disagree with you there.
Past the Mayo, I think he's pretty good.
Well, yeah, Mayo. Other than Mayo's, for example, if Mayo goes down, you're a bit. There's
Spikes,
no one.
Spikes isn't
Spikes isn't bad.
shabby.
He's not bad, but there's no real like standout guy, if you know what I mean, other than Mayo.
Nikovic is alright. He's not bad. Solid.
And presumably, seeing as he's still is he playing the 4-3 or the 3-4?
I would assume the 3-4. He has to be.
But he's only got 2 middle linebackers, meaning that
I would run the 4-3 with that team.
yeah, I'd be tempted as well because you've got
Then he's got Ellis.
the thing is he's got a mixture of 3-4 and 4-3 defensive ends. So I presume he's playing the 4-3.
That's interesting.
See, I would say he's playing more 3-4.
The philosophies, man. I tell you what. That's where it comes down to what owner are you, and that's what's interesting about breaking down these teams because, like me and Stocks, we're in the North. We don't really see a lot of AFC teams on a regular basis. So when we get to look at these teams more in depth, it's kind of fun. We get to look at, why isn't Brandon Marshall being a top receiver this year? He's a 92. Why isn't the Bills using, Ryan Fitzpatrick? Is the Patriots a 3-4? Is he a 4-3? So it's kind of fun for